to a GSL.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the GSL Code A. Tastosis is back again, and I was trying to actually tweet out right when we went live here that we're going live, but it's too late. We'll do it when we're back off camera.
Distinct
Tell your friends to join us.
there,
Distinct, exposed.
See, I got it in right under the water.
That's right.
Or the wire.
It was
under the water.
I'm still here to broadcast. Right.
Woo!
It's going to be a good day, man.
It is.
We have the big match of Code A.
It may as well be the Code S finals.
Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time we've said that over the past 6 years, I think we might have like $2. So definitely stay tuned for the entire broadcast today. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We could get 2 bottles of soju to celebrate. That would be fantastic.
Well, soju prices went up just a little bit, so 1.5.
Not if you go to a big grocery store.
Oh, that's true. We could get a big one. We could just get wasted.
Yeah. So there you have it.
There you go. So
it's
in other words, it's a big match. It doesn't happen all the time. We've seen it happen a few times before.
Yeah.
And a lot's on the line here. This is season 2, the last season for this year.
That's
the GSL Code A. So these guys really fighting for their careers right now.
If you don't make it in right now, that's really rough. You're just going to be playing Pro League or possibly SSL if you're in that.
The
ladder,
ladder,
a few tournaments here and there.
Stuff like that.
It's pretty tough. So super important, especially for Innovation, who is not qualified, not even close to qualified.
He
for BlizzCon.
needs those points badly. And this gets even bigger than GSL when you make a point like that, Artosis, is that, it's not just that he needs to move on and try to, get that prestige and that notoriety in a Korean league. But, he's not going to be at BlizzCon if he doesn't do well today.
Yeah, he has to do really well today, and then the next time he plays, and the next time he plays, and the next time he plays. He probably needs to get top 2.
Have we put in a formal complaint about this table yet? Because I keep saying that we're going to do something about it, but I've never actually texted or emailed anybody.
I like the table.
You like this table that kind of
just totally doesn't seem like it's a $5 table with Hot 6 cans on it.
That's right.
So, should we make a little wall so they can't really see what we're doing back here?
I think that we could
hey
hide
guys,
up. We could hide
I'm giving you the finger behind this.
I think these Hot 6 cans are probably worth more than this table is right here.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
How much do these go for in the store?
I don't think they know that this table's wonky because it looks like a perfectly legitimate table.
That's more than $5.
But when you actually use it, not so much.
Well, I mean, you don't want to put anything on it. Guys, by the way, look at this. We're going to have GSL Carbot Day.
Oh!
That's right.
That's going to be exciting.
Carbot
We've met him. Great guy. Great sense of humor. I love his cartoons. I've seen them all. And we're going to bring him out when he comes out here.
Yes.
Don't tell him that. He doesn't know that.
So much fun. Oh, he doesn't know yet?
He doesn't know that.
Well, he's probably watching GSL.
I'm sure all these viewers can keep a secret. He's not.
No doubt.
He's not watching. He'll watch the VODs, okay? They don't put this part where we talk to the VODs.
It's really great to have him coming out to Korea.
That's right.
StarCraft's animations. If you haven't seen them, go check them out.
We are going to bring
Especially the Legacy of the Void trailer one. Oh, my. I died. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
We're going to bring him to the nicest Korean barbecue we can find. You can watch and eat the leaves.
I'll eat the leaves.
And ask if the kimchi was made with any kind of meat or seafood product.
Yeah,
and then you can drink the soju. And me and Carbot will have a lot of great meat. But it'll be a good night.
You guys will have a great time.
You're going to have to take one for the team.
And I'll just have a mediocre time because that's what I do out here in Korea.
That's right.
Have mediocre
we can bring you
times.
by Subway sandwich ahead of time, and you get the vegetarian sub and awkwardly open that at the table while the restaurant people look at us kind of strangely.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to say anything because they're not sure if you know that you shouldn't do that here.
I don't think they know how
assume
to
you're going to be gone
or
in a
that
week.
they shouldn't eat
that. That's right. So
–
it'll be a good night, though. I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be a lot of fun having him down in the studio. He gets to see what GSL's really like. He can test out our table if he likes as well.
Yeah. He can have one of these Hot 6 cans. We could actually just take these home. And I bet
we could take them home every day, and I bet you they get replaced over and over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And what we could do is we could actually take them, we could hide them in the makeup room, okay, and eventually just go back with a giant crate of Hot 6.
You know what? That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Maybe we should start doing that.
Well, that's me always setting up these businesses on the side, Artosis.
All right, guys, these are our matches for today, day 5.
See me in Gangnam with a Hot 6 tent there.
Yeah.
Just dishing these out for way overpriced purposes.
This is a special new Hot 6. Pay $6 a bottle.
They're like,
that's why it's called Hot 6.
I've autographed the can. They're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm tasteless. They're like, I don't know who you are. Do you like League of Legends? And I'm like, no.
Oh, man.
Anyways, on to today's matches. Hero versus Pet to start things off. Seed versus Sorry. And then Dark versus Innovation.
Yeah. Pretty sick matches. Pretty well even matches going on. Okay, so this first one, I do want to say something. Okay, it's Hero, no longer Liquid. The hero formerly known as Liquid is what I want to call him.
The hero formerly
formerly known as Liquid.
I like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like
that Prince tribute in there. Got a polo shirt on here.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren perhaps.
Is that Ralph Lauren? Is that what that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up with your fashion know-how, Tasteless.
Man, if you think I'm in the fashion know-how, you got some low standards there, Tosis.
All right, his opponent is Pet. Look, Pet, like in maybe 2013-ish or so, was an up-and-coming Zerg. He was looking really strong. He had some great games, like was just barely not making it, just barely not doing it. He kind of fell off the radar. Look, this guy has been around forever, and he almost never gets anywhere, right? So him versus the hero formerly known as Liquid, who no longer has a team, has already been on a downslope for a while. Did make it in Quintess last season, so that was great. But, really hasn't done much compared to what he was doing in the zenith of his career. This, for me, is a must-win match for both players.
Yeah,
what the hell are you doing with your career after this long if you're not winning this match?
It's really do or die at this point in time. So a lot on the line here. We're going to start tonight off in Game 1 here with Dusk Towers. This is a PvZ. Now, Hero, he's a little bit of a tragic figure in I'm not even trying to make a pun here, but tragic hero actually in StarCraft 2 because
out of the two heroes, he is the tragic one.
Certainly so. He's a guy who really has some of the best control that we've seen. He has some really smart strats. He's always had a bit of anxiety in tournaments. Always a little bit of I don't know the proper way to say it, performance issues. Yeah. What he knows and what he pulls off. Because a lot of people say he's a great player, and they always have said this, but just doesn't quite deliver. And this is, probably the biggest thing you have to get over in any kind of, public performance. And pro gaming is no exception. Is no matter how much you know, no matter how good you are at doing it when you're alone, can you pull it off? When it's actually on the permanent record, so to speak.
Yeah. No, that's. We're gonna see tonight, who here can actually play in the Codes. I don't know, man. I just look at these two players and I feel a little bit of remorse, a little bit of sadness towards them because it's like their stories just are not going well. These are like books that are about to be discontinued or something. We're about to end a TV series on episode 7 abruptly with 5 minutes different at the end.
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy, right? These guys have been survivors, you could say, in the StarCraft 2 esports scene. And Hero, we casted him winning. I think it was in Young Shipping. I'm already going to butcher that name. Sorry, Swedish viewers. Winning that tournament at DreamHack, but that was a long time ago. And now these guys, I'm not saying they're bad because they're not bad, but they're certainly not. The top tier pro gamers. So right now, this is a fight of survival to try to make it into Codes, and you got to take this one series at a time, really. You can't just say, well, I'm going to be a GSL Codes champion. If you're in a position like this, you got to say, I got to win my first match, take my next match. And that's one great thing about this tournament is that both these guys have had a lot of time to practice and to train for this. That's what makes GSL different and in a lot of ways more competitive than some of the tournaments you see that are these marathon tournaments. Can you win, through a bracket over the course of a weekend, and you kind of don't know much about your opponents. You don't know who you're facing off again. Yeah. It's like
it's just like
it's like some kind of H1Z1 match.
That's
or I'm in the round of 4 now. The poison gas has been admitted in the brackets, and we gotta eventually find each other somewhere in the middle of the map, somewhere in Pleasantville. So, yeah. I forget where I was going with that. I actually talked for an incredible amount of time.
No, it was a good.
You take over here,
Tosis. It's a good monologue. Tasteless, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
If another caster popped into StarCraft, who used the ID Tasteless, and he became known as the greatest caster in the world for the next 10 years, how would that make you feel?
Well, I would be really proud of my clone or my son. I would really be proud of Tasteless Jr.
No, it's just another guy that names himself Tasteless. He's a little bit younger than you, a little bit handsomer. A
little bit taller.
A little bit taller than you. His beard is a little bit more magnificent. And he's the greatest caster in the world for 10 years. How would that make you feel?
Oh, wow. I don't know, man.
Pretty bad,
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Well, I just wonder about, I don't know if he's as protective about his ID, but when CJ Hero came in, it was just like, CJ Hero is just a better player.
Okay, so let's take the ID Artosis or Tasteless. Nobody has those IDs. Those were those were not common IDs I'm sure there's some posers or something out there somewhere in some other game.
Yeah.
But
People can show me
ID
screenshots
Rain
sometime.
and Hero, those are, I swear, the most common repeated IDs. Rain and Hero.
Yeah, those are pretty.
Is there
pretty
anything
common.
else that you can think of that is just?
Well, in
we've seen
StarCraft,
it-
those are pretty crazy. Like, if you look just on Battle.net, like Death Knight, that's a great one.
Yeah,
You
Death
know?
Knight.
Lord Viper, Death Scorpion.
Acid Bath.
Acid Bath. So good.
Venom Rat.
Yeah. There's like a lot of IDs like that. But
No, but I mean, but think about this. So seriously, Rain and Hero, we've seen that pop up a lot all over the place. I'm sure those IDs are somewhat common in MOBAs. Is there anything else? Somebody tweeted us this.
There's a few IDs I think that pop up a
for
lot.
branding purposes, if you're going to be a pro gamer, there's definitely some IDs I would avoid.
Yeah.
Just due to the repetitious nature.
Totally, you got to think of your own. Look, if someone came in,
Didn't Froz use the ID Hero for a while?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there you go.
Liquid
That was
Hero, in fact.
That's right.
And I remember they made this post on Team Liquid. They're like, Froz graciously steps back, show that Liquid Hero can have the hero ID, and I'm just like,
cringe.
oh, well, thank God that
so
Froz
cringe.
stepped back, who's
Stepped back.
having a successful career doing whatever the hell
who's making
he's doing.
tons of money in poker, and I don't even know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And it was like eons before all these other people.
So you mean he can use your ID? Oh, that's great.
that would be like,
gracious thing to do.
that doesn't even make it. That'd be like if some other athlete came out with the last name Tyson. It's like Mike Tyson steps back and allows this ID, this last name to be used.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Funny stuff. But I mean, if something like that happened to me, that same question I posed to you, I'm going to pose to myself. Like, if there was like an Artosis caster that came out, I would have an anime moment with him, where like we're fighting with our casting, and he like sticks the sword through me, but I like pull myself to him through the sword, and then like we go off a building together, and we're just both done, and that's it. And you can just have a mass grave. It's called the Artosis grave. Got 2 dead nerds.
That's
in
right.
it.
In one tall coffin, they didn't even take the sword out.
It's just sticking out of the ground a little bit. It's like a real big hazard. It's like,
hilt-
it's
the
one of
hilt
these
is still
anime
coming out of the
swords,
case.
right?
Yeah.
It's over 6 feet tall.
In anime, they got swords that are longer than their bodies are.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a delay here because I feel like we've been talking for a while, and I don't think
we definitely have
we
a delay.
don't normally use this lighting setup either.
Yeah,
so
no, I mean, how could this not be a delay? We should be in the game by now.
we should be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something wrong with Hero's PC, I think.
I saw him take his headphones off, so
yeah.
something. I don't
It's
know
like
what.
StarCraft 2 is installed
we're
on
back.
here.
Let's go. Game number 1.
GSL
Hero against Pet.
Okay.
As they fight for the GSL Code A. I actually just stopped talking there. Let's go into game number 1. In the bottom left, in the blue,
Hero.
I'm actually trying to say it the way that you said it. What was it? The hero formerly known as Liquid is what you were saying?
The hero formerly known as
That's
Liquid,
right.
yes.
Okay, because he was on Liquid before.
Yeah. Now he's on Team Black Shirt.
In the upper right, in the red, he is.
MVP 치킨 마루 펫.
Now, if I had to make predictions here, I say this is very 50-50.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
super
really
50-50.
see who comes out on top.
I don't know what shape each of these players are in.
No.
I always lean towards the player on an actual like Korean team.
Thanks for coming down, guys. Welcome to the studio. We've actually had, considering this is Code A, which is like, the filtering tournament to Code S, it's great to see some people coming down and checking this out.
It's the maybe it's like a good time to travel to Korea. We have pretty good weather right now, so
Well,
it could be part of that too.
Yeah, well, we're getting close to where the weather gets really bad. It's getting pretty hot out
Well,
here.
yeah, it's going to get really hot quite soon. But
Then again, I guess you can
Still
just come
pretty
down
nice.
here and sit in our air-conditioned studio.
Yeah.
And chill out there until the night comes, and that's when the nerds come out.
the thing is, Tasteless walks in and it just raises 2-3 degrees.
Yeah, it's
And that's not because how handsome it is. It's just because he is like just a sweaty man.
we got Zerg going for 3 bases here with a pool. And then we got Hero. We got the cybernetic score coming along. So this is all looking very normal for a Zerg versus Protoss opening. They're both investing and getting the bases up. This is what you see on this map a lot. And I think he was in here Wednesday.
He wears
the
sunglasses
guy with the
all the
shades
time.
on indoor. I love it. This is a strat we've seen, though, pretty common on this map.
Yeah.
This map is generally lends itself to the longer games because in the little
Definitely.
middle area, we don't actually have a lot of maps like this, but we've had, well, at least recently in StarCraft 2, but we've had a lot of maps like this in RTS history. And they always look like this. The one that I'm thinking of for StarCraft 1 was Gaia. Remember that map?
Sure.
that I played you in a tournament on. The game was like an hour and 10 minutes, and I lost. And I'm like, man, I just can't get across the side of the map, man.
If it wasn't 10 minutes, then yeah. That was going to be all she wrote for Tasteless.
No, man. There's always these games where you have this map that's like cut in half, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like
it's a very turtley map, and the thing is, all the players like it. Which it's like a big map pool, but all the players seem to like Dusk Towers. It's kind of a funny thing. I guess that means it's a good map. By the way, guys, we do have a Stargate coming up. We'll see if we'll have Overlord speed anytime soon. That normally does come up very quickly in this matchup. But I want to say before Hero starts really getting, his globetrottery going. Now, here's the thing. We always say, to go on Twitter, blah, 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 tell people, okay, here's the thing, guys. You all use social media, and you whine and bitch and moan at people, and you take pictures of your food.
Getting outraged over something that somebody blogged about somewhere.
But this is a positive thing that you can do today. You're watching this, so obviously it means something and you like it. So why don't you go spread the word a little bit?
Yeah.
Because GSL is by far the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Well, also,
and I'm even talking to you guys that have kids. Okay, this is it right here. Okay, the reason you have kids is so that one day they may play in GSL,
or at the bare minimum compete in it.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, watch it. I meant
they might not make it in a Code S because you might not be a Korean, but just get out there, spread that word.
By the way, dude, 26 lings.
That's a lot of lings
coming up here. We got Hero walled in. Going for air here and getting some gates, but this is a good number of lings that we see heading southbound here. This may be to prevent the third base from coming up. I don't believe he's going to be able to actually breach up here.
No.
Then again, he is getting Phoenixes, right? That's not exactly the best thing to have against lings. You pick up like one ling and kill it. Big deal.
Yeah, he's still making lings as well, so this is pretty crazy. But Hero had a probe sitting on the high ground, so kind of saw this coming. This is a little bit scary. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Well,
I was actually, as I was watching this happen, I thought, I wonder if this would just get in.
You know what?
Because it doesn't look fancy, but it certainly works.
I got to see that wall in again. I was actually kind of not paying attention to the shape of the wall, but he may have made a wall in that required 2 adepts, and that may be why Pet jumped on it. Hold on. Now with the pylon there, it's actually really hard for me to see on a screen like this. If I was playing, I could tell you. But look, the fact that he let this in means either A, he had his adepts positioned wrongly, or B, his wall-in was a little bit weird.
I think this is actually game here because
it's too many.
He can get the probes in their way, he gets the pylons, and the pylons aren't stacked up in such a way that you can really prevent anything from happening. And this is a really sad way to go down here for Liquid Hero. He's going to tap out. GG!
All right. Well, Pet takes game number 1 in very convincing fashion there. I'm not sure exactly whether it was the adepts placed poorly here. Thing is, he had a probe on the high ground over the normal 4th base of Zerg that saw a bunch of lings coming down. If he had simply brought, let's say, a probe up to the choke when he saw that, I mean, that's a very protective measure, but if you can wall in against something like that, just put an extra pylon down, suddenly this whole ling rush is a complete waste.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because the guy only had 2 adepts and Phoenixes, and I think even if he gets the wall up there and the cannon goes up, pylon cannon, I think he might still be able to do so much damage possibly.
He had 2 more gates coming, so if you end up making a couple sentries and stuff, eventually I think he'd probably whittle it down.
That might be something that happens somewhere on the ladder at a certain level of skill where it's I can just default win this.
Yeah.
And it's you don't see it in the highest levels of play because it's solved and it kind of remains in the shadows of the metagame.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it, actually.
And I'm wondering if that's the
things
case
like
right
that
there.
exist. There's holes in a lot of people's, especially foreigners' understanding, because when you watch only top-level Korean StarCraft, there's stuff just below it that they solve that you never get to see.
Yeah, well said.
Those are the strats that kill. GSL, AfreecaTV, Tasteless Artosis.
In the upper left, in the blue, he is.
Seattle.
Did she say Hero? I thought she said Seattle.
Seattle. Uh-oh. Possible new sponsorship for Hero.
To the city of Seattle down here. In the bottom right, in the red, he is.
MVP 치킨 마루 펫.
Sponsored by the Chicken Hoff, Chicken Mario. We definitely know he doesn't have a pet chicken.
We don't know that at all. How would you know if Pet doesn't have a chicken?
Because he ate him.
Ooh.
All right, so we got 3 gates. So let's see another cheese strat here. Now, is this over?
Yeah, it doesn't look like he'll scout it.
Wow, I can't believe that we're having
a quick series.
Yeah, I think so. We are going to have a very short starting series here, man. I can't. Okay, guys, so what we're seeing here is like about as all in as you could possibly be. Now, hold on. Is the Overlord going to go in vision of that? Actually,
No, I don't think so. I think it's just outside.
I believe you're correct.
I think
But
that if it
this
moved
is
a
like
hair,
an auto win. If Zerg doesn't hold this immediately, Protoss just auto wins this. However, if Protoss, I'm actually kind of curious as to how he slices up probes and zealots here. This must be like something where he gets exactly enough zealots at the start for this to have the momentum, because I don't think you can just keep.
It looks like he has exact full probe saturation on his main. Then he has one probe up near the buildings and one probe scouting to make it look normal.
Yeah.
So, then just putting his chrono onto gateway, and bam, there we go. 4 zealots on the way.
Now, I think this should win, but I'm also, this is another thing where I'm saying this is in the shadows of the meta that you might not get to see on televised matches. Either that or this is something that all the Protosses are going to be doing right away after seeing this. We're going to know in the weeks to come.
It's pretty rare that you see this, but every now and then a Protoss will sneak this in. It's a little bit crazy, but we literally have no Zerglings right now, so I think this is just a win for Hero.
Wow.
Like, how are you ever going to get anything up here?
Is this the speedrun version of Code A? This is crazy.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, so he's got the Queen out. Now, he has to buy time. This strategy tends to lose a little bit of equity the longer Zerg stays alive, assuming Zerg doesn't suffer too much damage here. Now, he's actually going to take out, I think, some of these Zealots over here. He needs to block this off and pick his fights accordingly. The Lings are coming down. The Spine, I believe, is going to have to be canceled, and it is. But how much is remaining over here?
Well, he has to be making a lot in his main base. He does have speed on the way and a bunch of Zerglings because he does have the 2 hatchery. But now, without a Spine Crawler or 2, I don't know if he can hold.
Guys,
if you just mass Zealots.
The Protoss has all of his structures out in the middle of the map, so Protoss has to end this like in the next, I'd say, minute or so here. Ling speed is going to get done, which gives you a lot more mobility. Also, the Queen in the backyard, nicely placed. He's starting to target down drones here, but he needs to get that Queen alive. Queen backing up now.
He is such a dead nerd right now. He has like less things than there are Zealots.
I can actually see Pet laughing right now in the booth as he's like, this is ridiculous.
He's like, oh my god, all these Zealots are like getting red.
All right, there it is, GG.
All right.
All right.
It's a pretty sick series so far.
This is kind of a special series in a special way.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't want to learn mid-game,
well, look,
this is the series for you.
Here's what you can respect out of Hero's play here, Tasteless. The previous game, he got gas, he made gas units. How did that work out for him? Not so well.
Yeah.
So he said, you know what? Let's try an only mineral approach. Work like a charm.
To be honest, that build Hero did, I think that's actually a great build to put in like a best of 5 or a best of 7.
It is.
Like, I look at that and I think, damn, that must be hard to stop. If you practice that, even for a couple hours in a day against somebody who's really good at control, and you figure out where to send the Zealots and when to target what, well, I think that you can auto-beat.
I think, like, if they don't scout it,
you're like going to take out Dark in a Codex Finals at least one game. Yeah. If they don't scout it, nobody's doing that, right? Great cheese.
The thing is, I think you got to do it against someone that's a similar level so they don't scout it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if anybody's scouting for that right now. I guess we'll see.
Well, I think Dark vs. Hero, he would.
Well,
scout for everything.
Yeah, the problem when you do a lot of strats like that is that you gain a reputation for doing it, and then you can't do it anymore. In the bottom left, in the blue, our Protoss player. He is.
Hero.
Okay, she did say Hero. I don't know why I heard Seattle in the last game. And in the bottom right, in the red, our Zerg player, he is.
MVP 치킨 마루 팻.
All right. Should be a interesting one, to say the least.
Thanks for coming down, guys. Welcome to the studio. For those of you watching at home, you can come to our studio. It's free. We got signs with markers. You can make signs there. Sometimes we have pizza.
It's like a craft class that sometimes has pizza.
Yeah.
You can listen to our commentary or the Korean commentary. You can put your fingers in your ear for all I care.
Yeah, and if you don't want to hurt our feelings, you can put earbuds in and then just not plug it in. And
you
just
can close your eyes or you can wear sunglasses like that guy in the front row. It's like whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever you want, man.
Drink a hot 6, don't drink a hot 6. That's up to you, too.
Yeah,
I'm not your mom. Do what you want, man.
By the way, this map, we got both players sharing the bottom here. Aren't we going to have some crazy-ass strats, Artosis? I mean,
yeah,
looking at the way these two guys have been playing so far, I think they were kind of hoping the other guy was going to be a little bit more standard.
Sure.
And it hasn't happened. Now, maybe with Pet, he just saw a hole. He knew how to blow up the hero Death Star, flew his X-Wing in and took out the core. But and maybe he will play more standard this time around. I don't know for sure, but it's definitely something to watch for because we've had two down and dirty games. I mean, I think those two games combined were actually shorter than the intro to the show.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely were because we had that computer malfunction thingy for Hero at the beginning. So kind of crazy how fast it's gone. But you ask if we're going to see anything crazy. I would say by definition Hero will play crazy. Like, even if he's playing a strong, solid normal game, he'll throw something really crazy in because that's just like how he plays.
Yeah.
A lot of the times to his own detriment nowadays.
Well,
I remember last season he really kind of threw a game by getting overly ambitious with, like, if I recall, it was like 2 oracles making stasis wards like in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And he lost them, and it was like,
well,
what?
I've actually. That's a slump Protoss players can get into. I actually had a problem with that. G5 did as well back at Brood, where I'm like, I finally found out something that's so cool that catches people off guard that I'm not practicing just like playing a standard game,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, I actually have to go back.
It's a very artistic way to play.
It's fun, and it feels good when you win, but then when you're losing with it, and you're like, well, I know this really stupid, insane thing that I can catch people off guard with, and that's neat, except that now when I play a normal game, I don't have all my stuff where it needs to be. So it's really important when you're like, trying to play at the highest level that you can balance out both. You have surprise strats, you got your standard play, because otherwise you're not going to be a well-rounded player.
Certainly the case. We do have one adept coming in. What it's going to see is about the fastest +1 melee that you can basically get. Like, we normally don't see Korean Zergs get this that quickly. It doesn't necessarily mean too much. Obviously, the Lings and possible Banes are going to be a lot stronger, but we have Glaives on the way here for Hero. Could end up being some sort of all-in, but it could just be some pressure off 3 gates while expanding as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Link's coming down out and hitting the pylon.
No, in Hero, he might even go 2 Stargates after,
Maybe.
Know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean, Jelly Bean. No, he might do that.
I love it when you call me Jelly Bean.
Yeah, I know. No, I think it's just hard to call what Hero's going to do.
Yeah,
even when he does something that looks normal, he'll have some kind of tactical strat in the middle of the map that we don't normally see.
Like, look at this. Is that just for Warpins, I guess? Oh, the Lings scout it. Well, that didn't work out.
Okay, he's going to get the
At least he had
probe.
to start like a Dark Shrine or something there.
Dude, he's making 22 Lings again.
He likes those Lings. I don't know why he thinks he can. Oh, you know what? He's setting up for defense because he just scouted what was going on, and you need to have a lot of Lings to kill Glaive Adepts. But Hero will go ahead and expand off of this, which I'm not surprised at all. If they see you're getting Glaives all, and if you're only on 3 gates, the most you can hope for is catching them off guard with a little bit of harassment. That's not going to happen here.
I'm wondering if he's going to bungle this. Okay, well, he beat me to it. I was going to say we've seen a lot of adept players. They get a little bit too greedy with that shading out. Okay, let's actually take a moment for those of you guys that are trying to learn how to play at a higher level with Protoss. In the start, especially like in the beta and like in the first 2 months of Legacy being out, Protoss has got a little bit too greedy with the shade move, where they would ghost out and then use that to move across the map faster. But the problem is that can also allow you to just get trapped by Lings, and then you have literally no escape. It's like people do this a little bit with Blink when it first came out, where they would just start blinking across the map just to get there faster, and then when they get ambushed, all their stalkers die.
If you don't have it on cooldown and this many Lings come up, you're losing your units.
By the way, these are +1 Lings.
Yeah, they're way stronger with the +1. That is 20% attack increase. So that's like one of the biggest upgrades in the game.
Kinda crazy. Yeah.
By the way, Roach Warren went up, and a bunch of Queens were just made. So I think we're just going to see him say, okay, I mean, you went like 3 gate adepts into a 3rd base. I'm going to, just roll over you. And he's doing that. Really, he doesn't even have to make Roaches. That 3rd base is already dead.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of that attack. Well, this is kind of, though, any way that Zerg wants to play this is kind of the right way to do it.
Yeah.
You've just crushed the 3rd base. Protoss can't really leave. And you've secured your own 3rd. You've taken out a bunch of adepts. I mean, Hero is in a huge deficit. You would have to be a lot better than your opponent in Hero's position to actually come back from this. Let's see what he tries to do. But I think the sheer fact that Lings could just kind of bludgeon these late force fields too.
Ooh, the force field's not even really doing what he needed there.
Wow.
Gonna end up losing absolutely everything here. The third base gonna be delayed once again. Very rough. Like, Pet actually way overstayed here. He's like, I'm going to get every sentry, but he loses like 1,000,000 links for the very last one. But
let me tell you something. If a tournament game's going like this for Hero, this is like the worst nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Because now you're just trying to play this game where so many variables about what you practiced are not important. You know? Now you're playing from a losing position.